Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, from Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the NXT Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man that will bring you all the wrestling happenings from the WWE Superstars of tomorrow, Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans 1977. I was this close to waiting until tomorrow to do my video because something was wrong with my wiring on the mic here because I had to straighten everything out. I had to clean the keyboard and all, and I kind of messed everything up. So I had to shut down the computer for a bit to get everything cleaned up, and everything is working on fine. But I realized during my cleanup, I didn't realize that this mic right here, the end of this mic was bent. So, but I put in another wiring, the USB-C for my mic, which is a good thing because now it's still working, and everything else in between. So dodged a bullet. And I figured, why the heck not? People can hear me talk, and that's what people want to hear me. Now, even though the mic can, we have a camera mic for my webcam, but it isn't as clear as the mic I have now. So thankfully, but I'm going to get another one tomorrow just in case and enlarge it a little bit and stuff. And if it's a longer one, I'll use the longer one in exchange. So, but right now I got the little shorter version, and it's all good in the hood. All right, so it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Praise the Lord. It's all good. Anyways, so and I was like, well, you're a weirdo. We're going to hear, it is May the 6th, 2025, 10:08 p.m. NXT was over just long ago. See how NXT will be now with all the cuts that have been happening, as you know. Eddie Thorpe never made it to the main roster, is gone. Gigi Dolan, I think, only made one SmackDown debut in the tournament until an injury happened, I do believe. So, during the women's tag team title tournament, she's also gone. Also, Shotzi Blackheart, who was on the main roster for a bit, came back to NXT. She's gone because they decided not to renew her contract and all that. So she left. Jakara Jackson's gone. So how the NXT women's division is still stacked up. It's still pretty much stacked up, you know. I mean, talk about a couple of key losses. Cora Jade's also gone, too. Got released as well. So how would you? That means you head into Battleground thinking, okay, what will the women's division look like heading to Battleground? Because now you would think that Julia and Roxanne will move up to the main roster to feud with Io and Rhea Ripley, and hopefully Io's right knee is fine. When she landed on it, she was limping a little bit. I was very, very concerned about that. So if you lose Io, there goes the women's division right there. You know, I know a lot of people probably don't want to see Rhea at the top again. I have a lot of respect for Rhea. She's got a bright future ahead of her. You know, Becky Lynch just came back too, and she's going after the Intercontinental title. She already roasted Bayley. I mean, oh boy. You know what she said about Bayley? She said she's already texted her. She already spent $100 texting her best friend. Wow. But, you know, so I was like, hey boy, this is going to be fun. Everybody's getting, you know, even after WrestleMania, the releases are happening, everybody's been getting a little snippety around here, a little chirpity, a little snippety. And Raw, SmackDown, NXT, everybody's getting a little chirpity. I think ever since the roast of WrestleMania, I mean, Shelton Benjamin hates Hulk Hogan's guts now again. I mean, a lot of people, I'm like, wow, wrestling can be really crazy, you know. I try to ease the tension by saying if I had a wrestling gimmick, it would be similar to the Green Hornets. Yeah, I've been watching some old school Green Hornet episodes. And so I just call myself the Green Dragonfly and like break rules just to earn the respect of fans and all that. Just, just to display justice, Yeah, I feel like, I want to be the modern day Britt Reed or something like that, but whatever. Let's get to NXT, shall we? I'm trying to kill some time here by ranting and raving. No pun intended. That's coming up this Thursday. Start off with a trios match or a six-man tag team match. I like the word trios match better. Probably going to get used to that term because with the WWE acquiring AAA. It's a couple of inter promotional champions. team up with the NXT Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank against Dark State. In this case, the three big guys in Dark State, Osiris Griffin, Cutler James, and Dion Lennox, were the chosen three. Shaquan Sugars tries to run interference or distractions outside the ring, but that's not the only person that's been given Joe Hendry a problem. Trick Williams came out once again. Those two fight in the back, and that gives Dark State the victory over Hank and Tank. Since they pinned the tag team champions, they put them in line for a tag team title shot right away. Interesting. I'm sure Ava's probably going to look into that. Thea Hale was talking to Karen Petrovich, who has had enough of all the guys. I don't blame the girl. I mean, believe me, believe me. Thea Hale says she knows what that's like, trying to, have, it's good to have friends, but, sometimes to hold you up, but you look out for yourself. And then Jada Parker's like, yeah, you should have the same annoying little, hyper and all that. And then, what, you should have done to Shantae's butt 4 months ago. Blah, 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 blah. Carmen Petrovich fights back, bites back, so to speak, and said, hey, they challenged each other to a matchup later in the night, so that was the case. And the No Quarter Catch crew, talk about the Battle Royal, and they said, listen, when one wins, we all win. And that's what, so we got to go out there and represent No Quarter Catch crew. So on 3, 1, 2, 3. And no NQCC, so they were excited. Women's action. Zarya went one-on-one with Keilani Jordan. There was a part where Keilani Jordan slipped, and I think Soruka caught her, but then Zarya charged through Keilani Jordan through the barricade with a spear, puts it and hits her F5 finisher. 1, 2, 3. Zarya ends up winning the matchup. Well, we see Zaruka, as they call themselves, split at the seam. Maybe Zaruka's not fine. Who knows? Zaruka's going to understand real quickly when she has that NXT Women's North American title. She's going to be a huge bullseye on her back. So be on the lookout for that. Meanwhile, Tony D'Angelo was on the phone, possibly with Adriana Rizzo in the safe house, and then Wesley, Tyreek Igwe, and Tyson DuPont were talking smack. Wesley was talking smack, and then Tony D'Angelo starts talking smack. He said, "What you did to Zach Wentz and all, and maybe a challenge could be ahead. Who knows?" Lola Vice was talking to Stephanie Becerra. Says, I'm going to wait for my opportunity, and once first opportunity I get, I want that title. And then Stephanie Becerra goes, being a companion all over the world helps me prepare for that. And they try to read it, and Julia interrupts and says, I'll see you at Battleground for that championship. So, then the 25-man Battle Royal, a couple of TNA guys. Zachary Wentz decided to show up in that Battle Royal. A couple of Evolve guys, Timothy Thatcher, Sean Legacy, Swipe Bright were in that Battle Royal. A couple of LFG guys, Chris Island and Shiloh Hill, who are a couple of students of The Undertaker in this Battle Royal as well. But there was a surprise when the lights went out. You hear this, the familiar strumming of the guitar, Elijah, who was known as Elias in NXT, showing up. People went nuts. And who wants to walk with Elijah? And in TNA, you walk this way. And people say, check on Kevin Owens. That's why he changed the name again. It's like, first is Elias, then Ezekiel, now Elijah. And Kevin Owens, he's probably going, triplets! Go! I can't imagine. Excuse me, I just cannot imagine what Kevin Owens is going. Why is he back? What the heck is going on? And my neck hurts. No kidding. My head just hurts seeing him again. Now, even more. are. And not just a pain in the neck. But, heck of a battle royal. It came down to the final four. Shawn Spears, Page, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne of the No Quarter Catch crew. And ladies and gentlemen, we had a Javon Evans tried to get him with a double cutter, but then Shawn Spears and Ethan Page both grabbed him, throw him out of the ring, and then the momentum would carry them over the top ropes. And a big upset victory. Miles Bourne won the 25-man battle royal. He'll face Obafemi at Battleground. And I think Miles Bourne had made history. He's the first deaf wrestler, I think. I don't know, people, I'm sure there's a lot more wrestling experts than me out there. The first deaf wrestler, hearing impaired, if you want to go now, to compete for a championship in the WWE. And you know what? That should be an inspiration to anybody who's hearing impaired, who's deaf out there, and to never give up your dreams. And I think with Miles Bourne winning that number one contender spot, and that's a victory in itself. I mean, so don't give up your dreams. If you're deaf or hearing impaired, please do not give up your dreams. Miles Bourne proved it. I have a lot of respect. I like Miles Bourne. I think it's really cool when you have someone with a disability inside that ring, like a hearing disability. And for him to pull this off, this battle royal victory, it is big and it's huge. And I think, and even though Obafemi might retain the title unless he loses it in a crazy way, because I don't know if they're going to WWE draft this year. Usually they do it around this time, but so far they usually announce it after Backlash, the draft, when everything will happen. The draft is around this time too, which is really, really strange. They have not done it at all, which is crazy. So we shall see. But congratulations to Miles Bourne. But during the matchup, Joe Hendry comes out to brawl. Trick Williams got tossed out, and then those two fought it out. And then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Jordan Grace about her matchup against Julia, the number one contender. So whoever wins that match face Stephanie Vaquer for the title for the Women's Championship at Battleground. But then Izzy Dame and Lash Legend both tower over Jordan Grace. And he says, if I win the matchup, I'll face you. Imagine Jordan Grace, either one of those tall ladies, jeepers. Izzy Dame of the Culling and Lash Legend, who is now basically on her own because Oral Mensah's gone also, and Jakara Jackson. So the metaphor has been split, it seems. But Noam Dar's focusing on being the Heritage Cup champ, and Lash Legend having a huge opportunity. So you're talking about So some of these people, even with those who have been released, I think some other other wrestlers will step up. That's what I'm thinking. So that's a huge deal. So Grace says, I'll see you two if I win the title. Imagine that triple threat matchup. Meanwhile, more women in action. That's right. Carmen Petrovic went up against Jada Parker. And, like I said, heck of a matchup between these two ladies. Jada Parker picks up the victory. And then when Parker attacks Petrovic after the matchup, Thea Hale tries to help out, and she got knocked off the apron. And then, meanwhile, Jada Parker's talking smack, and Carmen Petrovic was checking on Thea Hale. Looks like those two have made an alliance. So there is that. Then Ava was confronting Joe Hendry about the situation between him and Trick. I said, Joe Hendry was trying to calm down. He said, yeah, I know. We got to do something. And he said, Santino and I came in agreement. At Battleground, it'll be one-on-one between you and Trick Williams. But for the first time in WWE television, the TNA World title will be on the line at a WWE PLE. That's a big deal. So, Joe Hendry. And Wesley was on the phone with somebody and then talked to Tyreek and Tyson about everybody has a price. Is Stax on the other side of that price? Or is he talking to the million and Ted DiBiase? Who knows? Wesley was talking to. Then Yoshiki Inamura got his stuff, and he says, I'm going back to Japan. I disappointed you. I'm sorry. Josh Briggs, felt real bad, and then Yoshiki Inamura gave him the vest back, and everybody's like, oh, everybody loved the guy. I mean, he was really cool. I mean, I thought Josh Briggs and him would have a great rapport, and then Brooks Jensen comes up with the rest of the culling and goes, this is what I heard before. And then I think Josh Briggs knew. I was like, I had a feeling. Is Josh Briggs end up going to join the culling? If that's so, we can proceed Briggs and Jensen get back together. I don't know what the heck is going on with Josh Briggs. So we'll find out for sure what his deal is. Then the No Quarter Catch crew is celebrating Bourne's victory, and said, now that you won, I get the title shot. Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey, you're an egomaniac. What is freaking wrong with you? You were eliminated that battle. Listen, you weren't even in that battle royal, dude. Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne won the dang battle royal. And then Oba Fenty comes up, congratulates him, and he goes, thanks, I'm going to get a shot. No. It's Miles that won it. And he can take it. I'm sick and tired of triple threat matches, but, and Miles decided, hey, why don't you show me how it's done, to Charlie Dempsey. So, I really don't know what the heck to tell you, folks. I really don't know. Charlie, it's like, the guy in the crew won the battle royal, but I get my shot. Wait a minute. I would say, wait a minute, buddy boy. You need to get your hair cut because you look like a dope. Charlie Dempsey, look at that stupid haircut. What is he trying to do? What is he trying to be? I really don't know. He said, you dope? I would say, Charlie Dempsey, you dope. I won the battle royal. Were you in it? Nah. And you know what? I'll win for our team. I'll get the title for our team. It's my shot. Jeez. With all due respect, it's my shot, man. You didn't go in the battle royal. What are you trying to be Christian Cage now all of a sudden? I want a title. No, I'm going to hold the championship. I want to smack Christian Cage upside his friggin' head. Every time if I join, and then say, you want me to join the patriarchy? And the answer is no. Because if I win a title, you're going to want it to hold it like you want it. No. I'm tired of joining egomaniacs. I'm sick of egomaniacs in professional wrestling today. I mean, you won? I'm going to hold your title. You didn't win. I'm going to smack him upside the head, man. Gib slap. Jethro Gib slap, man. Oh. It's like if I beat Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the other guy's going to get the credit for it? No way. I beat Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You nuts. Anyways, yeah, Charlie Dempsey's going to learn the hard way. And you know what? Because Miles Bourne, like I said, Miles Bourne is an inspiration. Congratulations to him, man. And then Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors was decided, we got to get rid of the sweater, the polo, and all that. You get a change. And they gave him a couple of things, and they gave him a little, like some kind of special suit, a track suit, so to speak, the top. He said, it looks pretty cool. You know what? Let me try the other suit on. And he goes, hey, this is you, Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors. And he said, you know what? I kind of dig the look. And I was like, yeah. So you get I like to rock the look. I'll rock the look. So it looks like a new version of Chase U might be in the works here. Question which female will take the Thea Hale spot? We'll find out for sure. And then you got the number one contenders matchup for the women's NXT women's title. Julia versus Jordan Grace, the winner of that match, will face Stephanie Vaquer. And there was a heck of a match between these two ladies, but Jordan Grace finally ended up winning because a lot of people are predicting that she would win the match and that Julia may end up moving up to the main roster. If that's the case, be on the lookout because you got freaking if it's on Raw, the Raw women's division is going to get totally stacked at that point with the addition of Julia. But then you got Jordan Grace, who'll probably be on the fast track to the main roster, possibly next year. It all depends. So Stephanie Vaquer did confront Grace after the matchup. And that's going to be totally nuts for sure. So yeah, next week Charlie Dempsey's going one-on-one over Femi in a non-title matchup. There's going to be a contract signing next week between Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Well, we know how that went. Oh, I got some good news on the Joe Hendry WrestleMania shirt. It's coming in this Thursday, according to Fanatics. Wait, where are we? There we go. Sorry about that, folks. It's coming into Fanatics next week. I just checked up on it just now. We'll see if I can. Yeah, or actually, this Friday. According to, yeah, actually, it's coming. It's coming either Thursday or Friday. Let's see, Thursday or Friday. Let's see. I'm trying to check here one more time. Okay. For you, well, I gotta log in. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Oh, crap. Okay. Yeah, well, either way, it's gonna be Thursday or Friday. The thing is, gonna be in. So I just can't. I personally can't wait for it till I can show it off. That'll be a great thing. So that's it. That's all the time we have on this show. Episode 2225 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977 NXT Event Center for May the 6th, 2025. The weather's getting warmer here, kids, and believe me, the weather is getting warmer as we go along. It's climbing up in the 60s and 70s. And I think the Red Sox lost because they were losing to the Rangers 6-1. I'm gonna check the final score on that game. And Lucas Giolito, I don't know what's up. Yeah, 6-1 was the final score. Lucas Giolito, I don't know what's wrong with him. And I think everybody's. I think us Red Sox fans expect too much of our players, and that's been the problem. That's why they're booing them out of the building and all that, and all that crap. So we'll see what happens there. Let's see. After this tomorrow we got the Joker's Wild Spin on the One Arm Bandit, and we're gonna have WWE Evolve and more AEW Dynamite. So hopefully the Timeless One, Tony Storm, the AEW Women's World Champ, will be there as well. Who knows what's going through her mind? Will she continue to keep? I think she's trying to keep her skills, continue to keep her skills sharp, because she might either face Mercedes Moné or Jamie Hayter at All In Texas for the AEW Women's World Title, if she hangs on to the title for that long a time. Because I think it's in July, and it's a couple of months. So, and along the way, Tony Storm may end up losing the title, but hope not. Though I'm hoping, because I'll tell you one thing too, Tony Storm's been doing a great job, both for leading that women's division over in AEW. So we'll see what happens there. So that will be tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Joker's Wild, Evolve, NXT. So not NXT. Joker's Wild, Evolve, AEW Dynamite. My brain has been all over the place since the beginning of the week. I don't know. But, however, I gotta get out of here. Probably gonna need some sleep anyway. So, after I upload this video, that's what's gonna happen. So, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the show. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Until that next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. And remember, kids, be like Billy. Behave yourself.
That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.